The influential mind is a mind that is aware and cognizant of the fact that our ability to influence other people ultimately supersedes every other attribute that we have. And the reason why is because if you already have favorable attributes, then your ability to influence people will magnify them times 1,000. Because if you're already smart, intelligent, experienced, educated, if you have a deep knowledge of a specific area, then your ability to influence other people is going to take every one of those things and amplify them. But it also has the ability to neutralize all the bad stuff or all the not so favorable stuff. And we see this all the time. We see people that are less fortunate, people that have no money, people that have very little or no education. Some people are just plain unattractive, and yet they seem to be able to influence people on mass levels. People are attracted to them. They have deep, meaningful relationships. People love to be around them, and they enjoy life, and they get the breaks and the opportunities that some of the quote-unquote more deserving people don't get. And the reason for that is because they have, either on a conscious or an unconscious level, have understood and mastered the power of influence. They have what we call the influential mind. And so what we try to do at the influential mind is educate people on how to become that person. Now, some people are born with this. It comes naturally to them. And some people, it doesn't come so naturally for them. They have to work for it. But that's just like every other thing in life. In every aspect of life, there are certain people that things come naturally easy to them, and there are some people that have to work a little bit for it. So what we try to do is we try to take everything that we've ever learned about psychology, sales, influence, persuasion, and package it all together in a way that's easy for people to understand. You know, I discovered the power of influence at an early age. I discovered it as a kid. I didn't really understand what it was. I didn't have a label for it. I wasn't calling it influence or persuasion or anything like that. But I knew that there was something. I knew that there was this special ability that some people have, which gets them more favorable results in life. And I used it at an early age to get myself out of trouble, to make friends with people, to develop relationships with people. So I didn't really have a name for it, but I knew that there was something there. And as I got older, I started to really understand it on a deeper level. And so I got into sales because I realized that if I could utilize this power of persuasion, this power of influence to make money, then that would be a pretty good job for me. Plus, I was pretty good at it, and I was terrible at everything else. I completely sucked at every other job that I had. So I stuck with sales, and I was pretty good at sales. But after years of mastering sales presentations, understanding how to overcome objections, how to ask the right questions, and even crafting sales presentations myself for certain companies, I wanted to understand why this stuff worked. I wanted to understand on a deeper level the psychology of why people behave the way they do and why they make certain decisions. So I started studying psychology, and I started studying sales and persuasion on a deep level, and I started really studying human behavior. And then I went into the business of professional copywriting, where my job was to basically create written sales messages that made my clients' products sell, and sell a lot. And if I couldn't do that, I wouldn't make any money, they wouldn't make any money, and I would be doing a huge disservice to myself and them. Well, luckily for me, I was pretty successful at that. And after generating millions of dollars in revenue for my clients, I decided that I wanted to start teaching this stuff to other people. I wanted to start sharing what I learned over the past 15 years about how to become a more influential and how to become a more persuasive person. Well, what makes us a little different than a lot of the other people out there that are teaching this stuff is that we're merging two worlds together. So we're taking all the hard science that the professors and the psychologists at Cambridge and Harvard and Yale have discovered about psychology and how people behave through case studies in set condensed environments versus what works in real life. Because you see, even though those people made huge contributions to the world of psychology and understanding how people think, those people never found themselves in the shark-infested waters of New York City in high-pressure sales environments where you need to make the sale, where you need to fit in a tough neighborhood growing up, where you need to quickly, on a primal level, understand the way people think so that your interactions with them go as smoothly as possible, where you need to learn how to diffuse a hostile customer and reduce their resistance without offending them and yet still close the sale. And the reality is that most of the people that are conducting these case studies in these environments never actually found themselves in those situations. So what I try to do is take the knowledge that these people have discovered and merge it and fuse it together with what I have discovered works in a real life situation. And that's the stuff that we want to show people. Yeah, it's cool to show people, how you can change a person's decision based on a case study by changing a word in a sentence and all that stuff. And if it works, it's cool. But the question is, does it work in a real life situation? And if it does, then we will pass it along. If it doesn't, then we won't. People should subscribe because they're going to get a ton of free information that I believe is going to help them tremendously. As I said before, it's my belief and my experience that your ability to influence and persuade other people is ultimately going to supersede every other attribute that you have in life. Because if you have favorable attributes, it's going to magnify them. And if you have not so favorable attributes, it's going to neutralize those. And what you're going to find on this channel is every single strategy and technique that I've discovered over the past 15 years to help you become a better influencer and become a better persuader. And as I said, it's all free. You're going to get access to everything for free. In the top of the banner up there's a little link. If you click that, it will take you to a page where you can also get a free gift. You can get on our email list, and when you're on our email list, you'll get access to even more information, some of it more exclusive, and you'll also get access to special exclusive offers that we don't offer to the general public. So you should subscribe, and you should also opt in.